The best time of the year on the pitch begins now. Everyone undefeated. Hope runs rampant. New faces and old come together in search of a title. The USL Championship begins now on ESPN+. Happy to have you along for the ride, everyone. Corey Brooks and former Manchester United goaltender Gary Bailey. And Gary, this is always the beginning of a title for everyone. The same page across the board.
Certainly is, and Phoenix Rising will be hoping to get back to the top again after not even making the playoffs last season. Of course, for Charleston Battery, a bunch of changes for them as well.
This is the great unknown in the USL opening slate. Two teams that have been essentially completely rebuilt. And for the Battery, it starts all the way at the top. Ben Pierman, the reigning coach of the year here in the USL Championship, bringing his talent to the Low Country.
Yeah, what a signing. Absolutely stunning manager. And he's brought in a bunch of players, some from Memphis, his old side, who, by the way, I think will struggle without him.
Yeah.
Players from other clubs as well. It's a rebuilt Charleston Battery side.
And it starts with so many different pieces. But Gary, you know this, the goalkeeper's an important piece. And so Ben brings out and goes and gets Trey Muse. Going to be a big part for Charleston this season.
The most important piece, I would add there, Corey. Chris Allen also in midfield was fantastic there for Memphis. And then this kid, Barajas, this U17 Mexican international. They are saying this kid could be one of the stars of the USL.
No question about it. He has come in a tremendous form. His CONCACAF play has been brilliant. At just 16 years old, Fidel Barajas will get the starting nod today for this Charleston team. He's one of the returners. There are precious few between these two. And Phoenix as well. So many different pieces than Rising fans are accustomed to. But Alejandro Fuenmayor, a phenomenal defensive piece for this Rising side.
Yes, and him along with Jose Hernandez have both come from Oakland roots, and I think that is what is so important for the manager. Took over at the end of last season, Guerra. Players that he knows, players that he trusts, and Danny Trejo coming from Las Vegas Lights. What a fantastic player he is. Another one who could be destined for a lot higher.
Genuinely a brilliant two-way player. You could certainly say the same about Jose Hernandez, a guy who has a ton of experience here at the championship.
He has the experience. He understands what the manager wants from Oakland roots. He can bring it, and he's a vital, vital part of this cog in midfield along with Fuenmayor. Only one player starting from Phoenix Rising that ended last season. Can you believe that?
These two teams, complete mysteries. We'll learn about them together. Kickoff coming up next right here on ESPN+.
You need more layers, diagonal layers.
I got it, Ron. Thanks.
Leave him alone, Dad. Oh, honey, you should use ice blocks instead of cubes.
No, Bud Light Seltzer goes on top.
Diagonal layers.
Did you pre-chill the Bud Light lemonades?
Need more ice.
And diagonal layers.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I don't need my hands getting cold.
Why don't you try using the Plumsky method?
Brings out the citrus notes.
Dad?
Gotta crush the ice, son.
Okay, I'm out.
What's his problem?
Whenever packing the cooler really matters, there's a Bud Light there.
You hear all the time about Diamonds Direct's prices and selection and warranties. All true, and all good reasons to give us a visit. But what really sets Diamonds Direct apart is something that's hard to put into words. But you will feel it. You'll know it from the minute you walk in. It's our unique culture, our passion, our genuine and absolute desire to totally revolutionize the way you experience jewelry shopping. It's why we do what we do. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity, because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat, because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back. 2 minutes left. 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 2 min The open of the USL season here in Charleston. Unfortunately, at this time, neither squad completely healthy. You hope for the best, but the number 10 for Charleston, Handwala Boana, out for the season, and Phoenix Rising. No massive injuries, certainly nothing of the scale of a Boana loss, but some minor things they're dealing with as well. But we focus on the 11 players who are playing for both teams. First, for the home team in Charleston Battery. A lot of newcomers, as we talked about, but one thing to keep an eye all the way at the top there, old Augie Williams holding things down for the Battery.
He's that top goal scorer from last season. 5 players remain, 6 new faces. Trey Muse in goals, very, very important. A lot of guesswork from our side. We think Declan Wynn down the left, Derek Dodson down the right, but we're going to find out very soon how they line up.
That's going to be the guessing game for the entire league for both Charleston and Phoenix. And for this Rising side, even fewer returning minutes on the field here. A completely new look just about for Juan Guerra on Rising.
Yeah, only Kevin Lambert, the captain, remains from the team that finished off last season. Otherwise, it's completely new, but so exciting. Again, a little bit of guesswork as to whether they're going to play 3 at the back, they're going to play wing backs. Arteaga and Cuello up front look like they're going to be super exciting. But just can't wait for kickoff and see how these two teams pan out.
These two teams and these two head coaches. Ben Pierman in his first year, the 2022 Coach of the Year with the Memphis side. That got better and better as the year went on. Now he brings that rebuilding mentality to this Charleston team. Coming off a disappointing year, they'd be the first to tell you it was the worst year in their 30-year history. But in this, such an important year for Charleston, they turned to Ben Pierman.
Well, they couldn't have turned to a better coach, obviously, as coach of the season. And he's brought a lot of good players in who can make a difference. I like Declan Wynn coming in from Detroit, from his old club. He's brought in Trey Muse and Derek Dodson and Chris Allen. So, you know, there's players who understand him. Juan Guerra the same. He's got players from his old club, Oakland Roots, and he's got a whole bunch. I mean, if there's any message a coach sends out to last year's team that you weren't good enough, well, this is the message. One player remains. It's a complete clean-out for Phoenix Rising.
Saw Juan Guerra there. Starting lineups done. Tonight's lineups were brought to us by Bud Light. Injury report done. That's presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. And we are underway. The USL Championship begins now on ESPN+. The Charleston Battery in their 30th season, the oldest continuing running club. This is an important time for the black and yellow.
It certainly is an important time for both clubs, for managers, for fans, for everyone. You know, is it going to be a great season ahead? Or Phoenix Rising going to be the old Phoenix Rising we knew from years ago, always battling for the West? Or are they going to have a repeat of last year's disaster? And I guess you could say the same question for Charleston Battery. They had a spell under the previous coach who was fantastic, where they were literally year after year always making the playoffs. So can they get back to that high standard once again?
12 wins a year ago for Rising, 6 for Charleston Battery. Neither team happy with it. These two squads mirror images of each other. Koenig was trying to make his move down, and Charleston Battery with the initial good scoring chance. Quick grip and a save for Rios Novo.
Important first touch there for Rocco Rios Novo, 20-year-old. Fantastic talent, the Argentinian. Comfortable save down to his left, but a good break down the right-hand side for Charleston Battery. That'll give them some confidence here at home.
We'll be talking about some of the youngest players in the USL Championship this game, and it can start with Rios Novo. Playing for Atlanta United 2 as well as the main Atlanta United side in the MLS. The U17 starter for an Argentinian national team. The foul there will send us the other way.
Arteaga with his elbow up, just getting a little bit physical there, and maybe these are the sort of things that Phoenix Rising need. We saw them just not able to perform at all last season. A little bit of fire won't go amiss, and I'm sure Juan Guerra's got them wound up for this match.
Both squads certainly having that energy, and it is an up-tempo brand of soccer for both Ben Pierman and Juan Guerra. We got the chance to catch up with both of them this week, and they couldn't be closer friends, couldn't be more similar in terms of their tactics and stylistic approach to the game.
Yep, they're also the only two coaches, I believe, in the USL who are doing their pro license. They're doing it together, so they're always on the phone. They gave each other a big hug before the game. They stay in contact, and they do have two sort of similar sides, the same high press, same skill levels.
There's a nice back heel to set it up, and still a chance for Battery. Declan Wynn and company, the initial scoring chance. What success Charleston had last season, it almost exclusively came at home. A frenetic pace for both sides. Balls flying around everywhere. Gonna go out beyond the end line. So here's the chance to see a handball in the area.
I tell you what, that was worth a shout. As it happened, I'm just wondering if the referee was going to consider it, but you know what, it's a deflection, and if the ball gets deflected just in front of you, generally the referees are told not to give a decision. You haven't got time to move out the way when it's a close deflection, but it's worth a shout. And if there was VAR, I just wonder whether it would have been given.
I think you're exactly right. We would be seeing a very different first few minutes here in Charleston. Although you never know with VAR, they may see something else entirely. They might not be watching the right game the way those calls tend to go sometimes.
You're being a little bit harsh, aren't you? I like VAR. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Look, it's not perfect, but referees are a lot less than perfect. So I think VAR's a vast improvement. But yep, as long as they keep sort of sorting out the little glitches every year, then it's all good.
I think our officials do a great job. Out for a throw, headed the other way. A Phoenix side that, as you mentioned, accustomed to success, much like Charleston, winning the West in 2020 and 2018, the entire USL regular season in 2019.
And that was what was so crazy about last season, is Phoenix Rising have always been, if not the best in the West, then second at worst, third maybe, but not to even make the playoffs. And it was week after week that Rick Shantz, the former manager, tried to get things going. He sort of jinked it with the lineup. He tried a bit of this and that, but in the end, as Juan Guerra's decided, the players just weren't good enough. Just got rid of them, virtually all of them. I think there's only 4 or 5 have remained. And he basically, that's the signal he gave. Sorry, guys, time to move on with a whole new bunch of players.
He talked about it when we caught up with him this week, said there's a lot of players on this roster I loved, good men, good soccer players, but just had to make the hard choices, and that is evident with his opening 11. A coach who's familiar with his team, just the first full year for Juan Guerra, came in about halfway through last year. His first full offseason, he spent all of it watching film, understanding where he wanted to take this club, and now he gets the first chance to see the payoff as we dive into our keys to the game, which are brought to us by Gildan, a leader in high-quality, comfortable apparel basics located right here in the Low Country.
For Charleston Battery, got to get Augie Williams on the counter-attack. That's one player Phoenix Rising do fear. And then having said that, for Phoenix Rising, Danny Trejo, if he just gets behind the front two, if he can get some service into Artiaga in particular, will be absolutely vital for Phoenix Rising. He's such a good player, Trejo.
Yeah, both of those guys, two very different starts to their career. Augie, the returning feature for Charleston Battery, Trejo, the newcomer from Las Vegas Lights, but 18 goals, 6 assists, and a forward willing to defend as well. One of the best at interceptions for Lights last season. Something that guy will certainly appreciate. Goalies love players who defend everywhere. Don't just focus on all the goals and the spotlight only.
Trey Muse, only 23 years of age. We talk about Rocco Rios Novas to 20, but 23 is not much older, and Trey Muse also wonderful goalkeeping talent.
Both of these two so interesting. Muse the more established, as you mentioned. And Ben Pierman really excited for him, coming over from Memphis.
Hey! That's foul time. Twice. That's foul twice.
Play halted with a player down on the backside. Battery didn't like that whistle.
There's a couple of players slipping. There was a lot of rain yesterday when we chatted to the coaches. They said it had been raining all day. I didn't see any rain since we've had the pitch on the last couple of hours, but certainly the pitch is wet underfoot.
The Battery having a concert beforehand and all of the normal pre-game festivities at Patriots Point. And so far, it seemed like it's been nice weather today out in Charleston, but you're right, a lingering effect from yesterday, in addition to just that first match flow, right? You don't expect everybody to be running around at full speed and full bore here in the very first weekend of the USL.
Yeah, it'll take a while for them to all get into full gear, and that's going to be so interesting. Tough one for Phoenix. They have 2 away matches to start with. Now, normally you want to get a win in your first game and certainly your second game, and You don't want to start with 2 losses, but these are 2 difficult matches. Charleston away and San Diego Loyals away for Phoenix Rising.
Ikaza takes the shot off to the left. First time we have mentioned Emilio Ikaza coming over from Toros, where he led them in just about every category. Minutes, matches started. Emilio Ikaza, a big part for RGVFC. Now in the low country, and he'll line up a corner. This is something Juan Guerra talked about. The length and size of the battery can make a difference on these set pieces.
The referee's not happy. There's some pushing and shoving going on, so there's a lecture coming. It's so difficult for referees as who's pushing, who's not. You know, forwards are trying to go in one direction, defenders are trying to block them going in those directions. They don't want the players to go near the goalkeeper as well, so referees have got to have eyes in the back of their head. Look at all this, look at all those pushing and shoving. And
It is a fine line between being physical and going overboard. Hands up in the air. A lot of you guys there saying there, I didn't do anything, all good. Now Ikaza will send it in. High ball into the area, well too much momentum.
Well, after all of that, the ball wasn't even good enough. So that's something they're going to have to work on. Set piece is so important in the game these days, and you want to get it into the danger area. That's just a wasted opportunity there from Ikaza.
Rios Novo will be more than happy for a goal kick. Whistle comes the other way.
No one's really got a hold on the game as yet from the 2 teams. Very frenetic, and neither side able to get some good flowing movements. Good pressing on the other hand. Both teams making it very difficult for the other side to play.
A good back and forth affair that largely belongs to the Battery. And you have the chance to watch the Battery with some Charleston group tickets. The perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. A group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. Booth, good header, and a chance to press ahead once again for Charleston. Up high, looking for the cross, well defended by Varela. And the defense does the job for Rising. And a foul to boot against Charleston.
It's Allen. He's going to be such a crucial player for Charleston Battery. Chris Allen coming from Memphis. A massive part of their success last season. Just anchors that midfield. Stops them on the counter-attack, which he did there, even though he gave away the foul.
Physicality, the name of the game early on. Both sides being allowed to play a little bit, though, without seeing any of the colors drawn in the opening 11 minutes of each side's season. Whoop. And that right there is something that happens in game 1. Rios Novo calls and holds. Early match jitters, but no harm on either side.
Trey Mews very quick to respond there, just bangs it down the field, gets it away from danger. But again, look at the high press. Augie Williams putting pressure on. Both sides working extremely hard. And again, we talk about both these managers going for their pro license. They have the same outlook on life. They want their teams to high press. They want fullbacks to get up. They think very similarly, and I think we're seeing it with their teams. They're sort of nullifying each other at the moment.
High energy, high energy, high energy. The phrase you hear from both coaches so often, right at the core of what they want to do. It applies to every inch of grass on the pitch. Coelho sending it up far side. Long run to be had. Well done to bring it in. This is the first attacking opportunity of the day for Rising. Booth looking to defend. He does. Rising wanting a whistle.
That was Varela who went down, and you're not going to get a penalty for that. He's looking for it. Wasn't enough contact. So we'll look and see what happens here. Coelho with a lovely ball out wide. And have a look in the middle there. We just saw number 10, Freddy Varela, go past. When the ball comes to him, it's a little bit of shoulder contact, but it's more like he slipped than anything else.
Yep, no question. Great angle there on our replay. Outstanding work by everybody. Giving you the shot on site, directing it back in the studio. That was clear as day. Now, guy slips. It's never going to stop him asking for a foul, especially in the area. Crutzen lined up over the ball here for Rising. Will Trey Muse be tested for the first time in this opening match of the USL Championship? Comes from the other way. Not much of a test, but Muse up to it.
I just wonder if that's a lost opportunity. There was Fen Mayor in the box there, Danny Trejo, all waiting for a ball, big Kevin Lambert. You're going to just stick in quite a simple shot for Trey Muse to gather. As we saw on the other end with the wasted corner, I think that was a wasted free kick. But that's to be expected. It's day one of the season. Players are still tuning in.
Those set pieces developed over the course of a season. Battery on the front foot once again. Couldn't quite maintain it. A goal kick for Rios Novo.
Certainly is a much more positive Charleston Battery. Towards the end of last season, some of their play was really poor by their normally high standards, the Battery. So we look at Zambrano, they're another one of these new signings. I think 16 in total for Phoenix Rising. Wow. Trejo, another one. And they're all getting to know each other. Yes, there's been a few preseason matches, but players have arrived late. Players have had a few injury problems. Some not 100% fit. So this is the first chance they really get under pressure to get to know how each other plays.
Rising into the final third. Well defended all the way down by Leland Archer in the Battery. What you see right there on both of those builds for Charleston and for Phoenix, just how quick they were down the pitch. These two teams don't waste a lot of time. They like to be aggressive on offense and defense, and it really does show with both squads.
The question is, can they keep it up for 90 minutes?
Right.
You know, it's a fitness thing. It's something you get into the groove as you get into the season. First day of the season, though, normally around about 60, 70 minutes, the players start getting a little bit gassed because they're not used to playing. They've played 90 minutes before, but they haven't played it under this intensity and this pressure.
Yeah, it's very different when you're having a preseason friendly with a local college team as opposed to the opening of the USL Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Interception, not enough to disrupt this build for Rising. Danny Trejo. Patience here for Phoenix. Trejo, such a valuable addition for this Rising side and knows the Battery well. A brace versus Charleston a year ago.
That was Fem Mayor trying to switch sides from one side to the other, which is something his coach, Juan Guerra, wants him to do. He just didn't quite get that one right, though. There's a Charleston Battery doing much the same, and that time it is on spot.
Allows them to take the initiative, but too heavy. Rios Novo there without issue. Two talented netminders in this contest. Neither has been asked to do very much here in the early feeling out process between Charleston and Phoenix. And the two will connect. Rios Novo and Muse.
Just saw an injury problem there for Phoenix Rising, and they're one of their defenders giving the finger over finger sign where you sort of roll the finger and say, "How I want to get off." So let's see if there's going to be an early change for Phoenix Rising.
Misplay here for Charleston, nearly developed into a chance for Coelho and Rising. As you said, fitness not going to be up to 100% at this early part of the season. That ball's a mile out. So if you're gonna have those early nicks, it can quite easily happen.
It's Fuenmayor who's holding his left hamstring and having a conversation there with Kevin Lambert. And now he's sat down, so yeah, it does seem to be a problem.
Yep. A tough break. Alejandro Fuenmayor, a huge addition for Rising, as we mentioned. One of the best defenders for a Roots side that did some really, really good things, and now shaken up and visibly frustrated, Alejandro Fuenmayor.
Donnell King getting stripped down, so another one of the old players who will join Kevin Lambert as the only two players from last season. He gets his chance to impress the manager.
Unquestionably the face of this Rising side, Darnell King, top 10 all-time for Phoenix in minutes played. So that's got to be a luxury for Juan Guerra as well. One of your superstar defenders goes down with injury and you're able to turn to a veteran like Darnell King. There is Juan Guerra. Really, really strong player. I think quite possibly an even better coach. You talk to anyone in the USL and they have nothing but praise for what he brings to the table. So the first substitution of the season for Phoenix or Charleston comes unfortunately due to injury. Fuenmayor will head off. Darnell King does indeed enter.
They were playing three at the back, and Donnell King is more of a right back. So I just wonder if they'll switch, maybe drop Kevin Lambert back. We'll see.
As I can tell, my iris is auto, or manual, I mean.
A player with all USL pedigree. King earned that honor with San Antonio back in 2018. And unquestionably one of the fan favorites in Phoenix, Arizona.
I pushed it to auto, then back.
When he re-signed with Phoenix, had the Michael Jordan "I'm back" statement. That's all it was. Hops on camera. I'm back. Done. And right now, it's his defense along with his teams that'll be needed. Charleston continuing to control pace of play here in the first 20 minutes.
It's very tight in there, isn't it? It's hard for any player to actually get a second on the ball. Chris Allen again, another foul. Playing that sort of defensive midfield role, getting stuck in wherever he can.
Ben Pierman was excited to bring Chris Allen with him from Memphis. Said he's exactly who a Battery player is. Got a great example of it right there as he was unrelenting in his tackle attempt. Bringing that back. Thomas Snyder, a referee here this evening. On the second chance, well defended by Charleston.
Looking at expected goals there, not much in it though. I don't think there's been a shot on target.
Good rally, sent away. So, right as you see the expected goals, the best opportunity comes for Rising. Looking to go quickly on a throw, Varela. Cross in, and very quickly out. No, there has not been a genuine scoring chance for either side in 21 minutes. The majority of the contest being played in Charleston's final third, but that is possession and possession only for the Battery.
Well, at least we have the music.
Oh yeah.
To please the crowd.
No matter what, there's going to be a great energy at Patriots Point. This Battery side really struggled a year ago, and the players were still thankful. Fans kept showing up, showing out. And Charleston spent a lot of time renovating Patriots Point this past offseason to make for an even better fan experience. Now they hope to join that with on-pitch success, which is, of course, what every fan wants most.
Declan Wynn on the ball there with a throw, and he's so important. Such a good player for Detroit, getting up and down the line. They're going to want him to do this. 15 caps for New Zealand. So he's a quality player.
We'll keep here in the final third. Declan Wynn, one of the more known quantities in the USL Championship. Has played a lot for a lot of different folks. He's got another player falling down there. That was Cuello. You wonder if it's going to happen at a pivotal moment late in the contest. Charleston certainly hopes it favors them. Trying to play it long to Augie. That's the name of the game, but too much power behind it.
Augie Williams just annoyed with himself there. Tried a back heel. Tried to get it to one of his players. It could also have come off a defender for a corner, and he just misconnected, as many players are doing on this, the first match of the new season.
Augie had a brilliant back heel pass in the opening 10 minutes of this contest. Couldn't quite get the second one off. To be expected, though, I think. These are the two probably newest teams in terms of roster construction. We talk about the youth on both sides. And so a not quite 100% open is more or less online here, I think, with what both coaches expected.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for these teams to click properly, for the players to get to know each other, understand their strengths and where to expect the ball. Every player has their own way of passing and playing and thinking. It'll come with time, but coaches, you know, if you don't win your first couple of games, suddenly you're under pressure. You don't want to be in that situation as a coach, so you're also looking for results. It's a very fine balancing act.
Rising after the restart. Phoenix doing a lot of passing around the back here in the opening 25 minutes. There's that pressure from Charleston, nearly paying dividends. Great work by Chris Allen, does eventually reclaim possession for the Battery. Another strong tackle from Chris Allen. He's been brilliant. Williams goes down. Free kick here for Charleston.
And that was Mo Traore just getting a little bit too physical with Augie Williams. Yeah. But that's where Williams is good. He gets you in situations where you have to foul him. You have to do something wrong to stop him getting on the ball. Now they've got a free kick in a very good position. Now, can they use a little warning for Traore as well?
Some words of wisdom between Thomas Snyder and Mo Traore. Ben Pierman hoping his side is able to take advantage.
He's just thinking probably of all the set pieces they've practiced in training and thinking, is this the moment they can pull one off and make it count?
They're the ones who have had all the set pieces thus far. A corner kick that didn't manifest into anything, and now the opening free of 2023 between Charleston and Phoenix. Emilio Icaza on the ball now for the black and yellow, joined by Chris Allen.
Referee just explaining there's only two places you can use your hand to cover. One of them's your mouth, you can guess the other.
Understanding the most important parts of this free kick. Rios Novo directing traffic, just 20 years old, general in the back. Allen, Rios Novo easily.
Yeah, it didn't have enough pace in it to cause the goalkeeper any problem. And the goalkeeper was in the right position, beautifully placed to read it. Wasn't a bad free kick. I mean, it wasn't too far inside, you know, away from the post, but just not enough pace to really trouble a keeper of Rios Novo's quality.
A huge upside player. Atlanta United certainly saw it, as this belongs to Charleston. Ben Pierman saying he's like a field player with the ball at his feet, though right now it has been his hands that have been needed. Not in a dramatic way, but he's done all he's been asked to do thus far. And foul coming in the box. Charleston being a little bit too physical.
Augie Williams is saying, well, he was pulling me, so... But it was a nice little cross. It's the first time we've seen Fidel Barajas do something. He turned and crossed so quickly. I don't think that the Phoenix defense were expecting it. They thought they had him trapped in the corner, and he just turned and whipped it in. But for the free kick given away by Augie Williams, that could have been a problem for Phoenix Rising.
Another tie up there. Good work to at least initially get through it, but Charleston does reclaim it. That cross into Augie Williams, option 1, 2, and 3 for the Battery. But so far, Rising understanding the scouting report and marking him tremendously well. Ball belongs to the Battery.
Donnell King, their bad first touch, got himself into trouble, turns and plays it out of touch, loses possession cheaply for Phoenix Rising. Those are the mistakes the manager will want to cut out.
Saw Declan win there close up in the new kit for the Charleston Battery. Getting fully geared out for this, their 30th season, integrating the Iron Gate, celebrating some of the military history in Charleston. Rios Novo on the spot.
Daniel Crutzen just getting enough on that header back. For a moment, it looked like it was going to be picked off by the Charleston attack, but goalkeeper able to get through there and get that ball, Rios Novo.
Battery continuing to apply pressure now. Rising, looking for the counter. Patience for Phoenix. Valuing each chance. They've had precious few. Darnell King, interesting pass inside, setting up Guejo.
Some comfortable play there from Phoenix Rising, just getting everybody a touch on the ball. It's been a bit frenetic in midfield, so I think they just want to knock it around and feel that they can stretch it from one side to the other whenever they have to.
Battery getting the chance to play here at Patriots Point. They will next be here March 25th, facing Tampa Bay. Tickets available via SeatGeek, the Battery's exclusive ticketing provider. Get your tickets now and save up to $10 per seat when you buy in advance. Head to tickets.charlestonbattery.com today.
That's going to be a tough match, Tampa Bay Rowdies.
No question.
That's why you need points from matches like today, because every team is going to have other big matches coming up, and you don't want to get into a rut of losing games.
It was the issue for both sides last year. The momentum of the losses continued to build, and for Charleston, it's a challenging stretch. A cross-country trip after this to Sacramento, and then a brilliant Tampa Bay side. Played through, but well too heavy. Rios Novo will just put it at his feet.
Well, those are 3 games which last year would have almost certainly seen Charleston Battery get no points, or maybe 1 if they were lucky. Phoenix Rising, Sacramento Republic, and Tampa Bay Rowdies. But it's a new side, it's a different side. It's got Ben Pearman at the helm, and they'll be looking to get points in every one of those 3 difficult matches.
For Rising, the upcoming slate a bit odd in that they'll play the same team twice. And Loyal cross in, and a shot just too much bend.
That was coming from Emilio Icaza. That was lost by Jose Hernandez in a very dangerous position. That's unlike Hernandez. He's such a good sort of ball retention player. Have a look, it comes to him. Although to be fair, he was stretching to get the ball. Loses possession. Icaza trying to go for that top corner, just gets it wide.
Emilio Icaza, huge usage rate early on in this match. We've probably said his name more than any other here in 31+ minutes of action. Well read. Charleston, not the best first touch there. Slide through. Reclaiming possession briefly. And out for a touch, remaining with the black and yellow.
Again, good play from Charleston Battery. Phoenix unable to play through this press. Keep giving the ball away on the halfway line and then having to defend. They're going to have to find a way to get better passing or maybe play longer balls because they're getting picked off too often in midfield.
Possession overall in the match, favoring Rising, 58-42.
Where's that possession? It's very much in Rising's half of the pitch.
Right.
Look like right now. You make one mistake here and Charleston Battery will pounce and then they're in on goal.
That's one of those times where possession can be allied. 60-40, you'd think it'd be one-sided in favor of Rising, but pace of play continuing very much with Charleston here in this match. Varela lobbing it in, chance right at the feet, knocked away. Rios Novo and company as Trey Muse gets the job done for the Battery.
Emil Choyo got through there and it was on goal against Trey Muse. Good save by the goalkeeper. And then following up was Arteaga, and that got blocked as well. It's a lovely ball coming in here from Freddy Varela. And there I'm just thinking, well, if he gets the better first touch there, Emil, then he might have scored. Good chance. That's the first real chance of the game.
It is. And it's far and away the best for either side, Phoenix or Charleston. They'll keep the corner on the ground here. Now the follow-up cross straight to Trey Muse. Counter-attack here set up. Oh, Augie had too much momentum.
He's got to do better, Augie Williams. So dangerous on that counter-attack. The footwear being a problem for a number of players here with that wet undersurface.
And you imagine at halftime they're going to try and address that as much as possible. But right now, both teams dealing with equal conditions. Charleston not trying to build from the back, going full distance, unable to take advantage. And now a foul against the Battery.
It's going to that chance for Cuejo again. What a good chance it was, and his first touch just wasn't there for him. Lovely ball in from Varela. And Cuejo just unable to control it. Trey Muse with a very, very important save to keep the scores at 0-0.
Trey Muse last year with Memphis, defeating this Phoenix Rising side 3-1 with 4 saves. Already has his best today. Playing through the air, wide open, but a tough touch for the captain, A.J. Patterson. Patterson was by himself out wide. Ball just caroms right off of him. But turnovers for Rising, the Achilles heel. Battery continue here in the middle third. Arteaga pressuring, hoping Muse makes a mistake. The 23-year-old goalie does not for the Battery.
It's been an interesting game so far, but not one for the fans, though. You need goals, you need shots on target, you need goalkeeper saves. Other than that one from Trey Muse, there hasn't been much. Technically interesting, and the way they're closing down the high press, the difficulty Phoenix are having playing through it, as we saw there. Chris Allen just cutting it out once again. But we need goals, one excitement for the fans.
Each side credited with 2 shots on target so far, though they are far from equal quality. Really, it's 1-0 in genuine scoring chances, and there you got to look at that expected goals number. It is not very high. A defensive bout in this opening half of the USL Championship for Charleston and Phoenix.
And again, both managers would have worked on their players, saying don't give anything away, don't concede. It's how both managers want to play. But something has to give somewhere. Waiting to see when it's going to come.
Too much offensive talent not to. Cross in, but nobody there on the receiving end for the Battery. Still right place, right time for the young Fidel Barajas. Barajas withstanding the tackle bid. Barajas, good cross in. Oh, and it's straight to Rios Novo on a great chance.
It's a lovely cross from that Fidel Barajas. What a brilliant move, the way he won the ball, the strength of the young kid. 16 years of age, ball in, good header, good save. Now that's some quality football now. One chance for each side. Slowly this match is coming to life.
A genuine phenom, Fidel Barajas. 3 goals, 5 assists for Mexico's U17 team en route to a title. Comes in tremendous form and showed it there with the best pass today. That is a foul on Rising. Y casa down. Possession belongs to Charleston. Let's take another look at the best play today for either side.
Look at the strength of the young man here. Turns, and then the ball, the quality of the ball. The header on target, goalkeeper deals with it, but that's a lovely, lovely play, and he's picked someone out in the box. That's the quality of this young man. What a star he could be for the future, Fidel Barajas.
Markanik almost putting Charleston on the front foot. Instead, we remain level at 0. Drawing ever closer to the big pause. Battery with far more shots. But can they make something of it on the scoreboard? Andrew Booth putting it in. Back out wide. Win and Barajas. Barajas. High cross, loose in the area briefly, and a necessary clear there for Rising. Battery not done just yet. Dodson runs it down. Dodson denied.
That was a surprising mistake from Rios Novo. It was a high ball, way too high. All the time in the world to come and take it, and somehow it slipped out of his hands. Quick thinking by the defender to boot the ball clear. But now we're getting a bit more excitement. Teams are maybe just finding the gaps, finding the confidence to have a go, to get balls in the box. All 3 chances we've had in the last few minutes, good chances, have come from crosses into the box.
I think Charleston finding their rhythm, understanding that they have controlled the tempo and tenor of this contest, and they felt the same frustration the fans did. Hey, we want to score too. They show it now. A renewed poise for the hometown Battery. Now they'll try and build the full length here. Continuing to pressure Trey Muse. And back to Rising it goes.
That looks like a decent crowd in the background there. Such a fantastic club, Charleston Battery, and always have had good support, even though it was tested a bit last season, to be honest. But they're out in force here, looking for something exciting to believe in. I'm looking for a manager, Ben Pearman, to do the magic he has already done at Memphis, to do it once again here at Patriots Point.
Charleston quickly back on the ball. Good, nice, heavy touch. Battery a chance, shot, has no chance.
Markanik did so well. They took that set piece very, very quickly, and they got Markanik on the ball, and he cuts inside, does well, opens up a gap, and then final shot, just not good enough.
I think Markanik, such a gifted goal scorer, leading the NCAA while he was with NIU. He has the talent, and this one just gets away from him.
The shot wasn't good, but everything up until then was good. And Augie Williams having a few words saying, just slip me the ball, don't try shooting.
Yeah. Augie Williams, the 16 goal scorer last season for this Battery side. And now Charleston will resume near mid. Not loving the foul call is Renzo Zambrano.
He's suggesting there was a bit of a dive, but I don't think so. There was enough contact there for a foul.
Barajas and Wynn. Wynn trying to bust it inside. Actively denied. The defense of Phoenix Rising beginning to reassert itself. Coelho and company holding, trying to withstand that press from Charleston. Cuello run off the ball by the young Barajas.
That's the second time Barajas has outmuscled one of the other players who's probably 10 years older than he is. Very impressive strength from the youngster.
Ben Pierman said he can do it all. 184 minutes for this Charleston side last year in the starting 11 of match 1. He'll turn 17 next month. And now an interesting spot for Charleston.
Mo Traore's got to be careful. He's been lectured by the referee already. He could find himself on a yellow card if he's not careful. But look here, you've got to be careful not to make... You know that the forwards are looking for the contact, so you've got to come in a little bit more softly there.
Traore gets set for this, the second free kick for Charleston. It was Icaza and Allen both on the ball last time. Now it is Icaza by himself. No more misdirection from Ben Pierman. Emilio Icaza intercepted right away. Manuel Arteaga and rising. Not done yet, though. Just about the deepest possible throw here for the Battery. Went too fast.
Can we make sure we get a shot of... Thank you. I forgot it was only one side. Yeah.
All the way back to mid here. And the Battery will take their time. Likely only 1 or 2 construction projects remaining here in half number 1.
Yes!
Rising asking for a foul. They'll receive it with Zambrano down on the pitch.
Yeah, there was some contact there, but Zambrano playing it up. Booth just smiles. Zambrano got done a few minutes ago, got a free kick against him that was a bit soft, so he wins one here. Although he does seem to be getting up very slowly, as if that one really did hurt.
2 minutes of stoppage time and a little extra after that, which is brought to us by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. A look at Andrew Booth. 1,700 minutes or so last year for the Battery, one of the returning faces. The guy they put on their opening day graphic, announcing time, place, and location, which you have already figured out as you watch us here on ESPN+. Appreciate you joining us for this opening of the USL Championship. Darnell King and Renzo Zambrano. Zambrano's ball in. Flag up regardless, but that header went straight to Trey Muse.
Might have been offside there on Manuel Arteaga. I thought he could have brought that down. He didn't have anybody on him. Very difficult to score with a header. Maybe if he chests that and volleys it, he's got a better chance, but in the end it made no difference. He's in an offside position. And there was a bit of a push against the defender as well. Once again, it's the crosses that are the ones that are actually unlocking the defenses at the moment.
The great success has come in the air for both sides. There's no question. Neither team relying much on steady builds. It's quick strikes in search of that first goal. Understandable anticipation for both sides. You always want to start a season up 1-0, certainly as opposed to the alternative.
Especially when you've got tough matches coming up, when Charleston Battery have, as we mentioned, 2 more very difficult ones around the corner.
And that's our halftime whistle. So, Charleston Battery and Phoenix Rising. As many questions as anyone with 2 rebuilt rosters here in the USL Championship. Nearly none of those questions were answered in half one, but it was highly contested, and you can see the flashes of talent for both of these 2 teams. We'll step aside here on ESPN Plus. On the other side, take a look around the USL Championship and continue to get you ready between Battery and Rising here on opening night.
South Carolina. Now that's smart. This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create.
And Phoenix Rising, very much a defensive feeling out process for both sides. But you saw the glory of each side and everyone trying to build to that final. A win for San Antonio, the reigning champ, San Antonio FC. Brilliant in that contest against Lou City.
Yeah, they did dominate. They dominated the whole season. They won the USL Championship. They won the playoffs. Patiño with the first. And then it was Adeniran who got the second one with a header. And then it's Patiño who's going to pop up to make it 3-0. Just a dominant, and I tell you what, not easy to beat Lou City and to go 3-0 up against them because they're a fantastic side, Lou City. They did get one at the end through Brian Ownby, but goalkeeper, they just bumped off the ball. And the goalkeeper's absolutely furious, but in the end, they were just too good, San Antonio.
The top 2 teams in the initial power rankings of 2023, neither side losing very much. San Antonio and Lou City very much going to factor into the equation here in this 2023 season format, which you get a look at right here. Everyone divided East and West. We'll continue to see that expansion of interconference play. We're getting a great example of it right now between Charleston and Phoenix. It's good to see these teams being able to see some new faces over the course of all these weekends.
Yeah, I agree. It's wonderful to see. I don't want to wait till the end of the season to see East place West. I want to see it throughout. So yeah, well done USL Championship. It just makes it an even more exciting season ahead.
Can't wait for it all to come. For now, we await to see if there's a breakthrough. Second half coming up next between Charleston and Phoenix.
Get ready to wave the flags. Get ready to bang the drums. Get ready to light the smoke. Get ready to shine.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
For over 75 years, we've witnessed moments that will last forever. Records and trophies, firsts and onlys, game-changing innovations. From the heroes we admire to the joy of watching them play. Our history defines us, inspires us, and pushes us into the future. Celebrating 75 years of changing the game. Puma, forever faster.
Get ready to wave the flags. Get ready to bang the drums. Get ready to light the smoke. Get ready to shine.
Opening weekend of the USL Championship rolls on. Charleston and Phoenix deadlocked at 0. We've got some scores in the books for you already here on this opening night, and it's some really, really interesting ones. And of course, we focus first on all these changes. The coaching carousel, obviously center stage in our match with Ben Pierman, and even Wanguera in his first full year with this Phoenix side. And of course, USL Championship all year long right here on ESPN+.
Yep, Memphis bringing in Stephen Glass. Difficult to follow Ben Pierman at Memphis, and we've already seen that they've lost their opening game, so the pressure already on Stephen Glass.
No question about it, and that's a Memphis side.
First home game, they've got so much talent there. That's a frustrating draw for them, but well done, FC Tulsa.
Upcoming schedule here, still plenty more here coming up. You're going to be taking a look at Orange County and Lou City here in a little bit.
Yep, that's a match we've got later on tonight. Looking forward to that. Orange County finished bottom of the West, having won the USL Championship the season before. So I don't know what to expect this season. Either way, it should be a great match. And all the others, all the changes and players. Just can't wait to see all these teams and see how they're panning out for this new year.
And so we step aside one final time on the other side. It's kickoff of half 2. Can Charleston or Phoenix find the breakthrough in game 1?
You need more layers, diagonal layers.
I got it, Ron. Thanks.
Leave him alone, Dad. Oh, honey, you should use ice blocks instead of cubes.
No, Bud Light Seltzer goes on top.
Diagonal layers.
Did you pre-chill the Bud Light lemonades?
Need more ice.
And diagonal layers.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I don't need my hands getting cold.
Why don't you try using the Plumsky method?
Brings out the citrus notes.
Dad?
Gotta crush the ice, son.
Okay, I'm out.
What's his problem?
Whenever
packing the cooler really matters, there's a Bud Light there.
Hey Google, turn up the heat.
Charleston is located in the Low Country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else.
This place is magical.
So, Charleston and Phoenix all even 0. It has been a game where you've certainly seen the flashes for each side. Been able to put together a couple of things, but a lot of the highlights from that first half, very, very good defense. Rios Novo and Trey Muse both stepping up, doing what they need to do right out of the gate here in this one.
Yeah, you're right. There are little chances here and there, but nothing major. Could they have turned them into something more? That's a shot there coming from the edge of the box. Markanek, could it have been better hit? It was comfortable in the end for Rios Novo. And that was pretty much how most of the half went, little half chances here and then. This is Chris Allen from a free kick. Again, comfortable for the goalkeeper, right place, doesn't have to even dive to get on the end of that one.
On the flip side of it, you continue to see these builds for Charleston. Markanek's been on the receiving end of a few, but nothing even developing there. That one well in front of Markanek, he never got the shot. And this was still the best chance for either team as Phoenix really got something going.
Yeah, this is a lovely ball in from Varela. And for Cuejo, his first touch not good enough, and Artiega shoots and comes off, I think, the goalkeeper. Either way, it was a great chance for Phoenix Rising. That touch there wasn't a good one. Trey Muse reacts, and then the ball just won't go in for Artiega. And then this is youngster here. What a moment, Baraha. Strength, upper body strength for a 16-year-old. Beautiful flighted ball in. Markanek gets the header. I wonder, could he have done better? Didn't get a lot of power on it, and straight at the goalkeeper, Rios Novo.
Asking a lot from the newcomer Markanek early on, but it says a lot that Ben Pierman continues to trust him, as do his teammates. And here, the form for the youngster, a brilliant cross. Just couldn't quite get it, and then the rare drop from Rios Novo, almost the opportunity for Charleston. Halftime stats brought to us by Heineken. Possession, all really building towards a Charleston edge, but ultimately not much to discuss here for either side. Charleston has seen the preponderance of the opportunities, but it has been Phoenix hanging right with them, and that's exactly how we get to 0-0 at halftime. And so as we kind of dive in to what each team is going to try and do in half number 2, I think, Ben, first things first, both teams want to stop falling down, quite literally and figuratively as well. And once you get past that, how do they kind of calm down and be able to maintain that glimmer that we saw from both sides there in those highlights? You saw a great chance for both Phoenix and Charleston.
It comes with just getting into the game. I think as the game goes on longer, the players will get to understand each other. We saw that just before halftime. Most of the chances came in the last 10 minutes. Nice balls whipped into the box. And again, Fidel Barajas, very exciting on that left-hand side for Charleston Battery. There's players on the bench that could come on and make a difference with some fresh legs. Most of these players I haven't heard of, I haven't seen. Maybe Aiden Apodoka, we know of. Robbie Crawford, yes, but for the Battery, Juan Sebastian Palmer, Tristan Traeger, Dante Polvaru are all new players there, so Ben Pierman might bring them on. And I think you could say the same to some extent for One Guerra, Joel Torbeck. There's some youngsters, Toba Aurora, Liam Mullins, they're all academy kids. So if anything, there isn't much on the bench for One Guerra unless he wants to give the youngsters a chance.
He talked about it when we caught up with him this week. He said he was really excited about those young players. They had to step up on the trip down to Mexico City as Phoenix was dealing with some preseason injuries, and that's why they are available as substitutes tonight. Get a look at Ben Pierman there on the other side. What adjustments does the reigning Coach of the Year have in store here for his Battery side? First half of the season is in the books. It does not produce a lead for either Charleston or Phoenix. Does someone get out on the front foot, or do we finish level? Augie, good job to maintain his footing. That's already a better start. High arcing cross and an easy crab.
Augie Williams falls as he crosses it. Rios Novas falls as he catches it. So I'm not quite sure about the footwear. Obviously very, very tricky conditions, but I think that's better from Augie Williams. He turns, he beats his man, and he has a go. Yes, the cross doesn't quite what he wanted, but I'm pretty sure that's what Ben Pierman would have said to him. I need you to be more direct. Have a go. If you trip and fall, so what? But just needs one of these moments to come off, and we can take the lead.
An all-league player 2 of the last 3 years in Augie Williams. He couldn't quite bring that one down in time. Manuel Arteaga, the one who disrupts the rhythm. First attacking chance of this half for Rising. Trying to play it through while falling down. It's tricky at this level to get a through ball, period, and when gravity's getting the better of you, it's almost impossible.
This was a hit from a minute or so ago. There's a few words being said. He's not very happy, Coach Wangera. There was a clash of heads as the two players went for the ball, and it's a Phoenix Rising player who went down very heavily. The referee didn't see anything wrong with it. Is that Mo Traore, who was the one who was knocked to the ground?
I believe so. And you see him right there on the right-hand side, and the argument on the back. Let's take another look at it here.
Goes to challenge for it. Yeah, to be fair, that's a foul because it's a late tackle from Derek Dodson. Doesn't get the ball, gets the player. Should have been a foul, but of course with referees it's impossible to see everything.
Right.
Thomas Snyder's done really well in this match so far, but without VAR, you're not going to be able to see everything that happens at the pitch all the time. And play knocked long.
Yep.
Back with Charleston Battery.
Nobody there, and so perhaps a little sporting, perhaps a little frustration. Make of it what you will. Possession returns to the Battery.
I think that's what we heard maybe the coach Ben Pearman saying, but the ball was knocked out at the halfway line and they get it back, 5 yards off the goal line. They're saying, come on, be fair.
Yep.
We're helping you out by stopping the game.
Battery do build right back through mid regardless. Dodson playing it out wide. Marcanic, good cross, plenty of numbers on it. Rios Novo! An incredible save for Rising.
Now that's the best moment of the match. What a lovely ball in from Marcanic. Good header and a fantastic save from Rios Novo. Two players unmarked in the box though. Question marks about Phoenix Rising. Not one, but two. They're appealing for offside.
Battery right back on the ball. A renewed vigor out of halftime for Ben Pearman's side. And now Charleston will take their time. Emilio Icaza and company there on the receiving end. The best scoring opportunity thus far. Booth withstanding the tackle attempt from Arteaga. Played back, dangerous ball to Rios Novo, but he understood the assignment.
It's good high pressure from Charleston Battery. They're not letting Phoenix Rising have any gaps whatsoever, any space to play in. They push Derek Dodson up here on the right-hand side. So they really are pressurizing from deep.
Break through, trying to get through just about everybody there was Dodson. Booth. Playing it out wide, another dangerous chance for the Battery. Knocking it down, and the shot well up off Dodson.
Dodson's a better player than that. He's scored goals before. He just got a little bit overexcited here. Good play. Now Marcanic does so well to win that ball back. And then let's move it around. Icaza at the heart of a lot of what they do there, Charleston Battery. Good ball back in. Have a look, he just chested and then gets right under the ball.
Is that one you'd like to see Dodson perhaps settle and then take the shot?
Or just keep it low, just knock it down. You never know, you get deflections, but at least there's excitement for those Charleston Battery fans. Started off the second half really well, the home side. Oh, risky.
The Battery have a brand new look on and off the pitch this year, thanks to Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including the custom 2023 primary, secondary, and alternate kits by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com.
By the way, Rios Novo, that save that he made, wonderful header. I think it was Shumikaze, the header. I'm not 100% sure.
I believe you're correct.
It was a really good save. I wonder they're talking him up as a top goalkeeper, the Argentinian youth international.
On loan from Lanús, a guy who is in demand, the 20-year-old Raco Rios Novo. It's very much his home club. Grew up rooting for a goalkeeper for a Lanús side. Now he is technically signed by them, and of course playing for Rising. And Rising not happy about it. Oh, and our first color of the season, the opening yellow, and it will come against Rising.
Yeah, it's Traore.
Yep.
He's been warned a few times
Sure was.
in the first half, and I think the referee just had enough now. He's got to be careful. As we always say, every player gets a yellow. You've still got the remainder of the match to avoid getting a second yellow, and there's a long way to go in this game. He's a physical player, Traore. There's no nastiness in it, but
Traore, such a physical player. Gets the better of him there. Pressing again, nearly causing an issue, Markanek.
not working for Phoenix Rising. They just knocked that long and it comes back to them. They haven't been able to get out of this high press of Charleston Batteries. They've got to try and play their way through it. I guess what they're going to try to do now is just get some time on the ball, knock it around, keep it white shirt to white shirt. And very good start to the second half from Ben Pierman's men.
Yeah, you understand the thinking here for Rising. Well, they were doing a great job of it. Another early season miscue, this time biting Phoenix. And the Battery take advantage. And Charleston not wanting to press their luck. Build from mid.
He doesn't.
Possible counter. That was a tough pass off the foot there of Manuel Arteaga.
He had support right behind him as well. They're coming from Fede Varela, and he didn't pass it to him.
Long run, race won by Rising and Kevin Lambert. Barajas been so good from the wide positions. They throw two on him, and that's the solution. Players going down everywhere. We play on here in the Low Country. Dodson, good ball through. Markanek, unable to settle.
That high press again from Chris Allen.
Allen tackled quickly, still a chance for Dodson. Again, oh, Allen, right place, right time, but it's off of him.
Doing that really well. He leads that charge, Chris Allen, but Ben Pierman's got to be happy. His midfield have been so tight. They're smothering Phoenix Rising at the moment.
Allen known for his passing ability. Second last year for a Memphis side in passing accuracy. But it has been his timely tackles that have stood out. Your coaches say a lot. High soccer IQ. That is on display for Chris Allen. Long play trying to find Traore. All remains with Rising. Traore, Danny Trejo. A lot of these attacking-minded players have not had much opportunity for Phoenix so far.
No, they haven't. They've been penned in by a Battery side that's been playing the high press superbly well, led by Chris Allen, as we've mentioned. Now Phoenix just have to find their way through, whether they play their way through. The long ball hasn't really worked for them. They've got the likes of Jose Hernandez, who's just giving the ball away here again under pressure.
Augie playing it out wide. Darnell King trying to defend. Cross in. Initial touch belongs to Crutzen. And now Charleston will plead their case. For the physicality of Augie Williams. He's got a couple whistles against him, but he's going to continue to work here for the Battery.
Good flick on there from big fullback Crutzen. Defending well, Phoenix Rising, but they're under a lot of pressure. Jose Hernandez in the middle, they lost the ball a few minutes ago, and that's what caused the problem. He's the one who's meant to be the link, but he's just not able to get the ball and turn at the moment, such as the pressure from the team in yellow and black.
Dodson thrown down. Traore's got to be really careful. Really careful.
That's what Dodson's asking for. He's saying, come on, how many more? At this point, you just wonder whether Wangera is thinking, do I bring on somebody else? It's not that he's a dangerous player at all, Troy.
No, not at all.
And even then, I'm not even sure that's a foul. He was half going down, Derek Dodson. But he's got to be so careful. Eventually, they just add up. It doesn't have to be bad fouls, but if you have too many, it's persistent infringement.
Good ball in, well defended at the last. And still an opportunity for Charleston. That cross into Augie Williams, almost. But Kev Lambert got there just in time.
And didn't he do well, the captain for Phoenix Rising? Brilliant header. I'm thinking that's a near post flick in, but he stops it. Again, one of these is going to fly in the back, and then eventually you think for Charleston Battery, because they're beginning to create good opportunities.
Gaza giving advice to the young Barajas. These set pieces have been the exclusive domain of the Battery in this contest. Haven't been able to do much off of them yet. But this was an area of concern for Wangera, understanding this team can be great at him. Ball into the area and headed out. Clearance still necessary. Augie Williams right on the goal line, and the final touch, Andrew Booth. The opening lead in the Low Country belonged to the Battery.
Well, we were just talking about it had to come. You can't create that many opportunities, not get a goal. Andrew Booth is the man who'll take a lot of the plaudits, but Augie Williams was so quick there. And in fact, it was a near post header from the set piece that got it all rolling. So great play there from Charleston Battery all round. And eventually, Andrew Booth will come up. Have a look here. It's a near post flick on there. That's Barcana. It's a fantastic header on, then headed back in. And he gets the ball. Keeper makes a good save. Give Rios Novo credit, but in the end, he couldn't keep it out. Andrew Booth puts him in the lead.
4 goals last year for Andrew Booth. He's got his first here in the opening match for Charleston. The Battery king in chances created a year ago. This time, it is there on a platter for him, and Andrew Booth finishes. It felt like that breakthrough has been building since the moment we started half 2. Charleston finally finds it.
Yeah, 100%. They've been by far the better side. They've put Phoenix Rising under a lot of pressure. Balls have been flying around the edge of the box. Keepers had to make one really, really fantastic save from Cuejo, a header. And you think, well, Rios Novos can't keep the ball out the net all the time. And that's exactly how it's turned out. He still made a fantastic save, though, from Augie Williams. It just rolled across the edge of the goal line, and Andrew Booth could knock it in the back of the net. Now, question is, Phoenix Rising, can they counter? And in particular, can Mo Traore avoid getting another yellow and get sent off. So there's a couple of questions now for Phoenix Rising to answer.
That dazzling goal for Charleston brought to you by Diamonds Direct. Battery in front for the first time, 1-0. And it's a side that will not be content with the narrowest possible lead. They'll continue to attack and maintain that energy.
I don't know what Ben Pearman said at halftime, but whatever it was, it's worked. One of the things he did was push Derek Dodson right up on the right-hand side. He's been a threat. There he is on the ball, almost playing as a right midfielder.
Another nice ball in, defended by Traore. Even with that yellow card, still timely and on the spot for Mo Traore. Battery, right back on it. Ikaza trying to get to it, run a physical play, shot blocked. Chaos in the area, shot goes wide.
Something for the Battery fans to enjoy. You can see there Emilio Ikaza saying to the fans, come on, get behind us. We're on the front foot here. And they're loving it there in Charleston. Such a tough season last year. Must have been horrendous for them, but Ben Pearman bringing them early success.
Barajas, the one who starts it, showcases his strength once again. The shot just not on target, well blocked, and the follow-up wide.
Look at that expected goals all of a sudden. Nearly 2 for Charleston Battery.
Yep. Absolutely nothing in that category in half one. Resembling exactly what we've been talking about, a complete change in this second 45 for the Battery.
And it's a problem for Phoenix Rising. They've got to find a way to get back into this match, and they're not able to play out of their defense very easily. They've got enough players who you would think can make something out of it. Jose Hernandez, number 8 there on the ball. He's got to do more. That's his skill, is getting the ball and moving it up the pitch. There we go. Another missed pass from Jose Hernandez. He's the key to their play, and it's just not happening for him so far.
4 different championship sides for Jose Hernandez. But a wizard at chance creation, over 100 since 2019. They're leaning on him in that role right now, but you give credit to Ben Pearman and this coaching staff. They have had Charleston ready, particularly defensively.
You broke up a lot on that.
About 2/3 of the way home. It's still Booth and company. I'm not sure we've seen Trey Muse on camera here in half number 2. The grand majority of this second stanza being played in the final third for the Battery. Ball right along that end line, trying to run it down in the corner, and they do. Good speed for the Battery to maintain possession.
Controlling the game completely. Derek Dodson flashed that one across the box, just a little bit too high, but every time Phoenix get the ball and try and play out from the back, there's a misplaced pass, there's an inaccuracy, they lose possession, and then they're back defending yet again.
Dodson. Right idea, high aerial ball. Booth was the first one to it, but it will be Rising, initially relieving the pressure.
Again, as Charleston Battery get the ball back, and is that a yellow card coming out?
Sure is. So the second of the match, both of them coming against Rising. Renzo Zambrano will have his first yellow of the season.
It just shows you the pressure they're under, defensive midfielders and defenders like Mo Traore, just finding it impossible to deal with this constant flow. Something has to change for Phoenix Rising. They've allowed Derek Dodson so much space down that right-hand side. The Phoenix left-hand side, he's crossing balls one after the other, and if that's the one change Ben Pearman's made at half-time, it's a very good change. Yeah, and here there are some changes coming for Phoenix Rising.
It is indeed. Darnell King and Varela will both head out. Uzo will come in for Rising, along with Gabby Torres. So we see one of the returners for Phoenix. In these critical moments, Juan Guerra leans on experience and returns Gabby Torres to the active 11.
That's a blow for Darnell King. Came on as a sub and gets taken off, so clearly he hasn't done what the manager wanted.
And one returner out, one in here. The balancing act for Juan Guerra. And this Rising side trying to answer the initial tally from Andrew Booth in the battery. And there you see exactly what we let you know. Darnell King subbing off. Uzo coming on, the two-time Finnish champion out of Nigeria, will join the comeback bid for Rising. And Gabby Torres on as well, replacing Varela.
He had to do something, Juan Guerra. He had to mix it up just to try and get back in the match, because the second half has been one-way traffic. They're in danger of getting beat by 2 or 3. So Uzo, he's on. Uzo Chuko.
He prefers Uzo. It is the announcement when he came to this team. I think a lot of Phoenix fans perhaps struggled. He said, just call him Uzo. They had a great highlight reel of him put together as well. A really, really intriguing player. Over 1,000 minutes last year in the Europa Conference League. As we mentioned, the two-time champion in Finland. That was something Juan Guerra really looked for. International experience and winning. International experience. That turned into a wrestling match there just outside the box.
Oh, that was very close for Markkanen, because he's claiming he might have been fouled in the first place. It's the ability to win this ball. Have a look here. They're trying to play it out. They win it yet again. How many times they're going to do that? Markkanen goes in, tries to win the penalty, and then just gives away the foul. But high pressure again, and Derek Dotson on that right-hand side causing all sorts of mayhem for Phoenix Rising.
Thomas Snyder has been extremely consistent in this match. Ooh, dangerous play there. Rios Novo, so good with the ball at his feet. There has been a consistently high threshold and an unobtainable one thus far for what would constitute a penalty kick. Rising, trying to get on a run. And Trey Muse makes his initial entry into this second half.
Danny Trejo trying to get on the end of that, and we haven't seen him do much. The ball is eventually passed back to the field officials.
Danny Trejo, a goal every other game last year for Lights. Has not even had a shot here thus far. Charleston temporarily relieving the pressure. Best build of this second half for Rising. But what's there to be had at the end of it? Uzo sends it in. And it's quickly taken away by Chris Allen, unsurprisingly so. Can't say enough about what Chris Allen has done. And Ben Pierman said he is exactly what a battery player looks like. He was dead on. Chris Allen, jolly on the spot every single opportunity of this match.
As well as they've played second half, Charleston Battery, they're only 1-0 up, and if they allow Phoenix Rising to get back in this match, there's enough talent up front for the Rising, especially in Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga, who's played in Europe. These are good players. So if they want to get the job finished, Charleston Battery, they need to still concentrate. There's lots of work to be done yet. And conversely, for Phoenix Rising, they've got to find a way to get back in this. Stop slipping and giving away the ball in defense. And
Gaza goes down. and sends Rising back out. Manuel Arteaga, the leading goal scorer for Indy 11 in 2021. Muse, once again, rebuffs the Rising bid.
That was better from Phoenix Rising. They played it out through the middle there, kept possession, looked a much tidier side. That's what they need to find in these last 20 minutes.
Feels like the first bit of construction through the middle all game. Neither team really looking for the constant groundwork in this match, but so far, it is Phoenix here. That full-time whistle looming, well handled by Mark Koenig. They're back to that air through ball. It's been the MO. Necessary work and defensive for the battery. Koenig arguing for possession. He'll receive it.
Important role this for Gabby Torres, number 16 there. He's got to come on. He's got fresh legs for Phoenix Rising. He's got to bring in that energy, that purpose going forward.
Gabby's such a tremendous addition for Rising a year ago. 5 days after his transfer. Starts playing right away, and then a goal 2 minutes into his first home match in Phoenix. An instant infusion for a team that needed it down the stretch. Now trying to get a full season of work in for Rising.
Diego complaining that he was brought down there looking for a free kick, but referee Thomas Snyder not interested. Really haven't seen much of Manuel Arteaga. Expected so much of him up front. Very, very quiet so far in this match for Phoenix.
Wouldn't take much to get him going. That's at least the hope here for Rising. Booth on to defend, slowing down Trejo. Back to the long ball. Booth unable to maintain it. Nice tackle to set it up here. And again, right back to a black and yellow kit. Cross in, chance right in front, and the equalizer comes! Phoenix right back to level, and unsurprisingly, it's Danny Trejo.
Fantastic response from Phoenix Rising, absolutely brilliant. When they were under pressure, they have bounced back. And Trejo, we mentioned him earlier on, is such a talented player. He's holding up Aguiano's shirt there, the number 13. But they've responded, and that's exactly what Wangera would have been looking for. Long ball over the top. Here, Gabby Torres playing the part, and we said he was going to be crucial. What a ball that is for Trejo. And Gabby Torres providing the spark has been missing from this Phoenix side so far in this match.
So Danny Trejo, 18 goals a year ago for Lights, has one in the initial contest of 2023. Quite possibly the biggest addition for Wangera and Rising, and he shows it immediately. The highest class of player coming to Arizona.
Right, now who wants it the most? 15 minutes left.
Yep.
This is turning out to be a really enjoyable match. The fans obviously at Patriots Point a little bit upset that their lead is gone. Need to find a way to get themselves back in the match. Good pressure from Augie Williams. They've got possession. Again, a little bit too easily. Phoenix Rising giving away their possession.
So now we'll see how Charleston answers. Taking a shot for the first time. It was a good idea to move in. Mark Koenig couldn't quite have that final touch. So few chances for Rising in the contest, but they find a way to be economical and efficient with it. Bring us back to level. Dante Polvara comes in after that goal for Charleston, relieving Andrew Boots. So the goal scorer for the Battery will take a seat and give way to the newest signing for the Battery, Dante Polvara, a 22-year-old midfielder on loan from Aberdeen FC out of Scotland. We'll also see Tristan Traeger enter. Emilio Icaza lines up for a corner. Icaza, high ball in, and the diving follow-up just misses. Far and away the best set-piece opportunity for Williams in Charleston.
What a chance for Augie Williams. Of all the players in the team, he's the one you would think would be a certainty to score from there. He's unmarked, he's 4 yards out. He's simply got to head it down. He puts it over the crossbar. Man who scored 16 last season. We wish he could have that one again. That was a great chance for Battery to have gone 2-1 up.
The top goal scorer in the championship era for Charleston. And Augie Williams just missed it.
I'm not sure how he misses it, because he's only 4 yards out. All you got to do is head down.
Right.
It's almost a defender's header trying to clear the crossbar.
Phoenix fortunate. And now they had to fall to Rios Novo after that bounced off Traore. All the subs we've seen so far, 2 each way. Mo Traore remains on for Juan Guerra and Phoenix Rising, despite the yellow card. Says quite a bit about the caliber of the player wearing the number 5 for Phoenix.
Zambrano is also on a yellow, so it's 2 players. Look at that expected goals, 2.34 versus 0.65. So it's going to match that. If Charleston Battery draw this one, they will feel that they should have won it, and they'll feel they've dropped 2 points in the process.
That breakthrough for Rising, certainly against the grain. It was just that sudden attack opportunity that they finished.
Yeah, it was a long ball out of defense. Got through to Gabby Torres, and his setup for Trejo, absolutely top class.
Now Rising utilizing the full length and width of this pitch, trying to stretch Charleston out for one more decisive run and their first lead of the season. First touch, not there for Rising. Danny Trejo, already 1 goal and far from done yet. This is a young man who had a brace against Charleston last year. He'd sure love another.
Well, if he gets good service again like he got for that goal from Gabby Torres, he will score another. That was put on a plate for him. Nice finish from Danny Trejo, but great setup from Gabby Torres. And that's what they've missed, Phoenix Rising. Someone that's able just to create around the fringes of the box. There's a lot of work still to be done, but I think both coaches said to us when we chatted to them, you know, this is where they're only 60% of where they want to be. That was the figure that seemed to come up in conversation. Lots of work to be done for both sides, but certainly Phoenix Rising on this basis, some hard work ahead if they're going to be the same force they used to be a couple of seasons ago.
Massive collision, and we play on in the nature of this contest. Resembling more American football than you traditionally see. Charleston has continually gone for that quick throw, and they haven't been allowed to do it very much.
Well, that was being taken from the wrong place. I don't. The referee wouldn't mind if it's quick, but they'd stolen about 5 or 6 yards in the process.
What's a few yards amongst friends? Rising from mid. And slipping, ball in, well defended by the Battery. Dangerous in the area, follow-up shot blocked from the pitch. Danny Trejo went for it and couldn't get enough elevation.
This is better from Jose Hernandez. The last couple of minutes, he's been spraying the ball from left to right, creating opportunities and getting Phoenix Rising on the front foot.
There you have it. The face of the franchise has not scored yet, but may very well be due.
That header, I still can't believe he, of all players, missed that. If that had been a defender, I would have understood it. But Augie Williams from 4 yards to head it and get it over the crossbar. It's just so unlike him. Such a good finisher.
Battery pressing hard, unable to generate possession off of it. Good ball in, Trejo. Danny Trejo playing it ahead. Torres back through the middle, but nobody there to receive for Rising.
I thought that was a good ball from Gabby Torres. I think he was looking for Arteaga running in. The idea was great with pace across the face of the goal. Those are the sort of misunderstandings that happen early in the season before players fully understand each other. Next time Arteaga might make that run because he knows it's coming from Gabby Torres.
So here, nearing full time, Juan Guerra is going to get much, much younger with his 11 on the pitch. Tobo Arror will come on, the young man from the Barca Academy. He's headed back there in the fall. He will come on for Jose Hernandez. So a 26-year-old veteran with 128 championship matches, subbed off for an academy player. Says quite a bit about what Juan Guerra thinks of his youngsters.
Yeah, some exciting young players, 3 of them on the bench for Juan Guerra. Well, also, I think Jose Hernandez looking a little bit tired. He's run around a lot, maybe not match fit. Hasn't had quite the impact that I thought he would have, Jose Hernandez. Had flashes last 10 minutes of how he can play. He's been closed down so quickly for most of this match. He hasn't been that impactful.
Gaza was the one who applied the pressure there for Charleston. Yeah, they call Jose Hernandez the magician of Maryvale, local kid for this Phoenix team, but he's had a tough time going, and now a whistle and attention paid.
It's Jose Hernandez there, just stretched to win that ball. I think he might have done himself some damage in the process, which will be frustrating for Juan Guerra because he was about to sub him.
Yep.
I think he's also gassed, to be honest. I think he's really tired.
Yeah. We talked about it, especially with the breakneck tempo that both teams want to play. The final few minutes of the match were always going to be challenging, and now it seems doubly so. As there you get a look at the 17-year-old Tobo Arror coming on for Rising.
Some wonderful talent coming through the USL Championship. We see it in many teams, players, young players that have made their way into big teams overseas. And once again, we have more great young talent coming through. We hope Jose Hernandez, slightly older talent, is going to be okay. I think it's just a little bit of stiffness from the first game of the season.
Trying to stay hydrated. Another look at it here. Kind of went after it, got tied up with Ikaza.
Just a bit of a stretch impact, and he was already feeling tired and looking a bit gassed. So I think he just needs to get off that pitch and just go through a bit of recovery. Don't know if he'll be super fit for the next match, and they might have to give him a week or so to recover. But that's all part of the first few games of the season. It's getting players to full fitness, both physically and mentally.
Rising will be much closer to home for that next match. Torero Stadium awaits in San Diego before they finally open up on April Fool's Day against that same loyal side in Phoenix.
Wow. 3 very tough games to open the season with for Phoenix Rising.
First 2 on the road is never fun. But they may do so off a point here, which at one time seemed like they wouldn't get any. Charleston trying to change that. It was intended for Emilio Icaza, who was there. They couldn't find him. Ball in, well defended once again. Enzo Zambrano with that yellow. He's in there for a reason. And a huge opportunity here for the Battery.
That's the youngster just come on there. Tobo Raw goes to try and win the header. Doesn't get the header, gets the player. That's going to be a free kick. Have a look at it again. Ball goes up, goes to challenge, but doesn't get to the ball. Just hits the player. It's a free kick in a dangerous position, edge of the box. Once again, all those pre-season games against college teams where you practice free kicks, this is where you need it to work, but Koenig should be in the box. He's a good header of the ball.
It'll be him and Tristan Traeger lined up over the ball here for the Battery. Koenig, tremendous collegiate career, was dominant in the preseason trial for Charleston and earned himself a spot. And they've trusted him in a number of opportunities here this evening. It's Mark Koenig, well high.
Well, they didn't do enough practice, did they, on the field before, because throughout this match, set pieces have been very poor from both sides. You sort of half expect it being the first game of the season, but then again, at this level, you would expect them to have already done that work. I know Chris Allen's had a fantastic match for Charleston Battery. In that midfield, he's been superb.
And the whistle first. Rising can't believe it. Trejo in uncontested. The shot was saved there by Muse on the backside, but the whistle had already blown. Juan Guerra beside himself.
Nobody wants to be that official stood between the two coaches, because you're getting a mouthful the whole time. I didn't see much to be fair to Juan Guerra. I did not see much there. Have a look at this again.
Yeah?
I did not see much there. Maybe AJ Patterson just playing that for the ref. And that's the point that I think Juan Guerra is trying to make.
May have been the final possible salvo, and it goes by the wayside due to a whistle. Charleston not content with level. Good cross in. Icaza saved by Rios Novo.
Icaza again, so good in that box, coming with those late runs. Just wonder if he could have headed it to anybody else. Koenig again with a nice build-up. Ball gets knocked into the back. Could he have knocked it across? Augie Williams was waiting. Very difficult to beat the goalkeeper from that angle, but a header back to Augie Williams, and that could have been game, set, and match.
Charleston unrelenting. Foul on the Battery. Quick restart for Phoenix, not just yet. Robbie Crawford will come on for Charleston. Augie Williams heads off. So Robbie Crawford, a great passer for this Charleston side a year ago. 5 assists in about 1,500 minutes played.
I just wonder if Ben Pearman's saying, right, I'm going to take the point. I don't want to get caught in the counter-attack and end up with nothing. So he's just going to settle for the 1-1, because Augie Williams is the one player you think can break the deadlock at 1-1 and give Charleston Battery all 3 points.
Robbie Crawford came back about midway through last season. 4th overall as a Battery player.
He had a short spell at Monterey Bay for a while. Didn't quite work out. Used to play for Glasgow Rangers, so the pedigree for Robbie Crawford is top class.
They hope to find something from him here. Instead, it's Trejo pushing pace. Oh, well defended. As you see, 4 minutes. All that added time brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Whistle once again continues it the other direction.
Could have said it's a good effort from both sides on the opening day. Traore once again ready on a yellow. He's taking a few risks. But I think both teams will accept the draw, although Charleston Battery will probably feel it should have been a lot more, especially given the expected goals. They, was it 2.5, nearly 3? They had the opportunities. Frustrating for Ben Pearman. Especially at home. You want your home games to be wins, because away, you start playing Phoenix Rising or these sort of teams away from home, you'd be lucky to come away with a point.
15 shots to 5 in favor of Charleston, 6 shots on target to 3 in favor of Charleston.
Yeah.
The preponderance of set pieces belonging to the Battery. Every number tells you they should be winning this game.
I think Phoenix Rising really only had 1, maybe 2 chances the entire match, and they took 1 of them.
Yep.
Go back to that Augie Williams header again. I can't believe a player as good as him missed that. But again, first game of the season.
Yeah.
Players are not quite in tune yet with what they need to be doing.
And ultimately, it is empty stats, right? If you don't convert, if a team takes 1 shot and hits it and wins 1-0, then that's just as good as taking 30 shots. You have to credit the economy and efficiency here for Rising. Enough to earn a draw, perhaps. We'll find out in about 60 seconds. One last chance. Charleston will write the final sentence of this opening chapter of the USL Championship season.
I think the main aim is to get it in the box. There isn't much time to fiddle around and play passes.
Alvaro's first touch there in the middle. Out wide here for the Battery. Looking for a miracle. Taking their time. Here's the ball in, redirected in the area, and sent away.
Dodson again with a header. He has been magnificent in the second half on this right-hand side.
Unrelenting defense. Charleston does not want it out of this final third. They understand the importance. The Battery extend the match by just a bit. Dodson fighting, played just outside. Loop taken away, right down, just needing to clear it is Rising to try and earn a draw. It's still loose and it goes wide. Oh, so many opportunities for Charleston. And that is how it ends. Battery perhaps the better side in this one. Consistent chances that just miss. And it's the 1 goal by Rising and Danny Trejo that force a draw here in the season opener in the Low Country.
Yeah, big hugs here between the managers and the respect they have for each other, and at least it's level for the 2 of them, being good friends, and they can share a dinner later, and they've each got a point. But certainly Charleston Battery will rue the missed chances, the opportunities. That man, Chris Allen, superb.
No question about it. In a defensive contest, Chris Allen, our man of the match, brought to us by Heineken. Charleston will have to feel good about playing that well a season ago in which they didn't feel like the better team all that often. They did in this match, and that's got to give them some confidence going forward. And for Rising, even as the lesser team, they found a way to get it done. We'll quickly step aside and give you some of the highlights here. It's a 1-1 draw to open things up for Charleston and Phoenix here to begin 2023 in the championship.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Charleston is located in the Low Country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else.
This place is magical.
Back at Patriots Point, a 1-1 final score brought to us by Wicked Weed. Charleston will be left wanting more, but they will take that desire out to Sacramento, California. Phoenix heads back home before heading to face San Diego Loyal in a game that was decided by a pair of touches for each squad and a lot of defense in between.
Yeah, early on in the first half, they really struggled to get things going, but Charleston Battery, Markanek here, beautiful ball in, and that's Ikaza with a header that's so well saved by the keeper. Absolutely brilliant. Here's the goal, a flick on at the near post, and then it comes back. Augie Williams has a shot. Goalkeeper makes a save, Rios Novo, and then your man is on hand. Andrew Booth to stick it in the back of the net. Tough for the keeper because he's made the save, but the ball just rolls loose, and they certainly deserved it. And then this long ball comes through here, and you're thinking they've got to deal with this Charleston Battery, but Gabby Torres sets up the goal scorer there, Danny Trejo. It's bad defending by Charleston Battery. They get punished. Aguiano, the number 13 shirt, is held up, but they should have done more, Charleston Battery. They're going to feel that they left 2 points on the pitch here today.
So the Battery 1-1 with Rising, 90 in the books. The USL Championship off to an incredible start, competitive as always. Some great final highlights brought to us by Bud Light, and our final score thanks to Wicked Weed, 1-1 in the Low Country. For my broadcast partner, former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, and our entire crew here on ESPN+, we thank you for joining us. Welcome to the 2023 season in the USL Championship.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.